Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about relative reference and absolute reference in Excel. What we are going to do today is that we are going to use this data in order to explain relative reference before we go to the second sheet, which we are going to use this to explain the absolute reference. So now let's go back to the first sheet where we are going to explain the relative reference. So now let's say that we want to find the net income in January. To find the net income here, let's say, so it's going to be equal sign and then so revenue minus, you will, like, you are going to hold down your shift button and then you can click enter, and then that is the net income. For us to copy it down the row, we can just double click this very small dark plus sign. So you can see it has been copied down the row. So that is that about that. So this is a relative reference. So the formulas are just changing their position relatively. So like the formula will change relative to their position. So that is that. And then for us to see the formula that we are using, and I'm going to show you something right now. So for us to see the formula, we can just click formula and then click show formulas here, and then now you can see that we are on the same column, and like the only thing that is changing is the rows. So that is that about that. And I would like to show you, and then for you to go back, for you to make the formula to disappear, just click the show formula again. It's going to be disappear. And then for us to, and then let me show you something right now before we move to absolute reference. So let's try to delete this. I like this, and then you can just right click and click on clear content, like every, or you can click a delete. So now I want to show you something. Okay, I like this, and then just input equal sign, and then try to do as if you want to find the net income again, this minus this, and then don't press anything on your computer. And then for you to copy this formula down the row, just press your control and enter. It's going to be copied. That is what I did right there. So now let's go to the absolute reference. Now this report, this data is all about the student scores, and there are 7 students in this class, and then they have a score between like I think the lowest number there is 57, and then the highest number there is 87, and then the maximum score that student can get is 100. So, and this is the percentage that they got. So now let me delete this so that we can understand what we want to do. So let's quickly, so now you can just click this, you can click delete, and then if you shift cell, so it's going to be deleted. This has been moved. Let me just put it here. Yes. So now what you want to do is that I want to show you the difference between absolute and relative reference. So we have already talked about relative reference. Right now let's talk about absolute reference. So now let's say that we want to find the percentage score of each student. So now, and this is the maximum score. So percentage score for Luna is going to be equal sign 50, so 57 divided by 100. So I press enter. So okay, let's try to put this in percent. Let's try to put this in percentage. So now let's change it to, let's just do like this. Okay, so it's going to change to percent. So it's in percent now. So now, okay, let's now try to make it in such a way. Okay, let's now copy the formula down the row. So you can see we are getting error. Why are we getting error? Let's go to the formula so that we can see the formula that we have. So now we can see that our H11 is this, and then we have H12, which is going to be 0. So that's why we are getting error. And then for the percentage score for the upper is H13, E13, which is 72 divided by 0. That's why we are getting 0. And then, so this is the only one. H11 is the only one that has 100 here. So now that is that is the reason why we are getting error. So now let's go back. So for us to make this in such a way that is going to be absolute reference, is that we want to make our denominator to be 100 across the row. So now let's go back. So now let's now do this. So for us to make it an absolute reference right now, you will press F4 on your keyboard. So like you are going to press F4 beside where the cursor is blinking. So you will place your cursor where you want your, like that means we want to lock this numerical value, because this is going to be constant throughout the table. So now we put the cursor beside H11, and then you are going to press your F4. So F4. So now we have it, enter, we have it, and then we can just copy it. So now that is that about that. So you can see, let's now go to the formula tab to see the formula that we have. So now you can see this 100 has been locked. It is absolute reference throughout the table, because we need it throughout the table. Yeah, so that is that. In case we don't lock it, we are going to be going down like this, and then it's going to be giving us 00, because that is the way the program excel. So you can see the difference between the two right now, between the relative reference and the absolute reference. And then whenever you are seeing something like $sign, it is absolute reference. It doesn't mean like anything other than that. It's just to lock certain value or values. So that is that about that. So that is the end of today's video. Thank you very much for your time. See you some other time. Bye.